Can't believe it. I'm so sorry again. Just when I thought I was good. Good morning, everybody. Of course I'm good. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Thursday. The spirit world sees all. Boy, oh boy, did I have evidence of that yesterday, uh, along with some of the people I was talking to. I love it. You know, when I've been doing this mediumship, talking to dead people, whatever you want to call it, for so many years. But I still get very, very excited when you get that little tiny piece of information from the spirit world and you impart that information and you see people's eyes widen and you see, and then you say, how do you know that? How can you know that? And it still excites me. What can I say? After all these years, I still get such a thrill when the spirit world gives us that information that knocks our socks off. So, good morning, good morning. All right. Sorry, I'm still coughing a little bit. First of all, we must say good morning to my spirit guide, Gregor, who's laughing at me because I was just so excited yesterday when I this information was just, it's almost sometimes as if it's just pouring out, and you can see people's eyes, you can see their faces, you can see they look at each other and they look back at me, and then they look at each other again, and this, no, how? Well, the spirit world sees all, so that's how. And then when I talk to the spirit world, they tell me these things, and then I impart them. Isn't that exciting? So, good morning to Great Eagle. Obviously, is laughing at me because we still just get so excited about this stuff. And good morning, Chris, wherever you are in the world. I think, oh, wait, I know where you are. You're in the sunshine, and you're in the sunshine state, as am I. So that's nice. And I'd like to say good morning to all of you here who are joining us this morning. I'm sorry, still coughing a bit, much better than I was, but still so sorry, still coughing up a storm. And anyway, it is what it is. So before we begin, I'm going to I like to give you all a minute or two to get your questions ready. I know you're in the chat room, and I know we're going to have lots of questions. And if we don't get lots of questions today, that's okay. If you don't want to participate with me, that's okay. We'll just finish early because I've got things to do today. Anyway, so yesterday, and I know some of you will think that I'm crazy, yesterday I made my Christmas cake. I know we've got, is it 12 or 13 weeks or something, my grandson informs me, to Christmas. How could I possibly make a cake? And how could that cake, if I make it all of these weeks early, won't it be stale by the time we've done with this cake? No, not at all. We need to make our Christmas cake early because we then have to feed the Christmas cake. And I'll be showing you, those of you who are interested, I'll be showing you how we feed the Christmas cake. So I made it yesterday, but I didn't take it out of the oven because it takes a while to cook. I didn't take it out of the oven until around 7:30, and then it was far too hot to do anything with, so I had to leave it to completely cool down. So this afternoon, in fact, probably immediately after we're done the show today, this afternoon I'm going to take it out of its wrappings and its paper and take it out of the cake pan that it's in, and then I'm going to wrap it all up again, and I'm going to wrap it in at least 3 layers of parchment paper, and then I'm going to wrap it in foil. We have to treat this thing so carefully, so gently. Then I have a great it's actually a Tupperware thing that I've had for years that I put it in, and then once a week we feed the cake. So once a week you might be seeing if you know, we'll probably put it on Instagram or something, and I'll show you how I feed my cake. What am I talking about? What do you mean feed the cake? How are you going to feed the cake? Well, we feed the cake. You can use brandy. You can use rum. Some people use whiskey, but that's not really for me. But this year, I'm going to be using brandy. I soaked my fruit in brandy before I put it in the cake, and now I'm going to be feeding the cake brandy. And what happens is that all of that brandy gets into the cake and infuses the fruits, the dried fruits. It's not a fruit cake, I promise you. I know in England, if you're listening to me in England, you'll say, of course it's a fruit cake. Yes, but as far as America and Italy and various other countries are concerned, this is not a normal fruit cake, because fruit cakes in America particularly are no insult to any of you. So a lot of people like them, but they are so dry and cracked and yucky. I don't like them at all. But my cake is going to be moist and delicious. And the brandy, actually what happens is the alcohol gets soaked into the fruit. And then after 2 or 3 weeks of feeding the cake once a week, then the fermentation happens and all the fruit starts to ferment and all of it. And by the time we're ready to eat it, it's delicious. My grandson was so excited because it's been 2 years since I've made a Christmas cake. I didn't make one last year, and I didn't make one the year before because some of you will remember I broke my wrist and then my hand got mucked up, and it's very hard for me to use my hand these days as I would like to. So stirring the cake, and it's a very thick, very dense, heavy mixture. So stirring it is not so easy. But Chris was here yesterday. We do have video. Yes, I don't know when you're putting it up, Chris, but we do have video that will show you. My grandson is so excited now because I've made the cake, because his job now is to help me when I go to New York and take the cake with me. Then his job is to help me to make the marzipan. I have a very, very special recipe for marzipan. I make it as it was originally made, with a special ingredient that most people actually probably don't even know about, but we make this special delicious marzipan which we cover the cake with, and then we ice it, and then we decorate it. And I always make twice as much marzipan as we need for the cake, because then we like to make all kinds of things with the marzipan. Reese likes to make animals, I like to make fruit, but I make peaches and plums and apples, and then we paint them and we make them look very realistic. Some of them we dip in chocolate, of course, dark chocolate. And we love our marzipan. We love it. So we'll be doing all of that. Can you believe we're sort of 12 or 13 weeks out from Christmas and we are talking, it's not even Halloween yet. Speaking of which, my friend Chris came yesterday and brought me a cauldron and a witch's hat. So we're getting ready for Halloween, and I thought that I might, not in the cauldron itself because it's not really for proper use, but I thought we might make my marmalade, and I would show you how to make my delicious, amazing marmalade. I'm going to put the recipe up for you all so that you can get the ingredients. The most difficult ingredients to get for the marmalade are Seville oranges. That's Seville, Seville as in Spain. But these are very special oranges. You can't pull them off the tree and eat them. They're far too bitter. But you can only get them in certain places. We will actually tell you where you can get them from, but Chris actually sourced it for me. Took ages, right, Chris? It took weeks and months, actually, and maybe even a year or two before we finally found them, and now we have them. So we're going to be making our delicious, unbelievably delicious marmalade. And so I'll be showing you how to make that too. Right, I've talked enough, and you would think if this were your first time on this show, some of you have perhaps popped in for the first time. Well, I didn't know it was a cooking show. I thought it was going to be a show about spooky stuff, or speaking to the dead, or life after death, or whatever. So you might be thinking it's a cooking show, but it's actually not a cooking show. So you can ask me any questions you like about anything at all. But now I'm going to go out to you, Chris, and ask this all important question that all mediums need to know how to ask this question in the right way. Are you ready? Is there anybody there?
Luckily, you do have people in your chat room, and it's interesting because Dean immediately hopped on your fruitcake. He said, "I'm not making Christmas cake this year. After you mentioned the cake, I discovered I had half a cake in my freezer that I can eat at Christmas time. It's not frozen because of lots of the brandy that was recommended.
Right.
So don't chastise me for forgetting it."
I'm not going to do a thing. I can remember years ago, I don't know if I told you this story, but I'll tell this story for Dean. Years ago, I mean, I was probably in my 20s or something at the time. Years ago, I made a Christmas cake. And for some odd reason, I put it in a cake pan that was too big. It was a square one. And it for some reason or another, it was a little bit too big. So the cake, instead of the cake being this deep, was only sort of like that deep. So I thought, well, I'm not happy with that. So I actually wrapped it up. I wrapped it in foil and in plastic, and I really wrapped it really well. And I thought, I'll just keep it in the freezer. I don't know what I'll do with it. And then I made another Christmas cake. Well, I'm going to say at least 2 or 3 years passed before I decided one day that I really needed to clean my freezer out. It was one of those big chest freezers. And so I'm cleaning it all out, getting it, washing it out, and I come across this, I don't even know what it is. It's something that's wrapped in foil and then put in plastic and what have you. And I've forgotten. I've no idea what it is. We must have all done that. So we put something in the freezer and then forgotten it. There was no label on it anymore. It was just, that was it, just in the bag. So I opened it up and I saw that it was the Christmas cake. Now, a few days later, this was when I was in England, and we had the healing centres open, and we were having our Christmas party. And everybody was bringing something. So I thought, I'll just take this cake. I didn't think it would be much good, to be honest with you. I didn't have time to make anything else. It was a bit of a cheat of a thing. So anyway, so I obviously took it out of the freezer, thawed it. And then on the day that I took it, when I got there, I cut it into small sort of portions, small bite-sized pieces. There were probably, it was a big cake, but it was just not that thick. So anyway, so I put it out, and I thought, oh well, nobody will know, and I don't even have to admit that it was me who made it. However, people kept coming up to me, Rosemary, did you make that cake? Rosemary, I understand you made that cake. Rosemary, and everybody was coming. And then the next thing, it's the best thing I've ever eaten. It's the most delicious thing. And by the end of the night, I was kicking myself that I'd given it away and not kept it for myself. But anyway, it was delicious. I'm sure your Christmas cake will be delicious. Just make sure, Dean, that you take it out, keep it wrapped well, but you take it out of the freezer a few days before you're going to eat it, so that it can really, really thaw out, and all that fermentation will be just start to activate again. So you just need to maybe take it out a few days beforehand, and I know that you'll enjoy it. I can't believe I'm going to do the same with mine this year. If there's any left, I'm going to put it in the freezer. Anyway, Chris, keep going.
Eric says, yay, the marmalade recipe. Thank you for the Seville bitter oranges. Also, Judith says, I grew up eating marmalade. My dad was a grocer for a number of years, so we had easy access to all kinds and flavors.
Oh, nice. Well, I do have to say that the marmalade that I make is very different. Now, Chris, you've tasted my marmalade, so you can weigh in on this. But it is very different, I think, from marmalade that you might buy in the store. First of all, it's not a sweet, sickly sweet marmalade. It has, some people might say it has a very slightly bitter but delicious taste. It's so good. It really is really good. I put molasses in my marmalade. I put all sorts of things in that people wouldn't normally put in molasses. But the trick of this particular marmalade, and I won't make marmalade unless I can use Seville oranges, and we've had a definitely difficult time finding them, but we now able to source them. So if you want the recipe, let me know. Chris, how would you describe my marmalade?
Oh, deep, earthy, delicious.
I wouldn't say it was earthy, because that gives the impression of it being tasted sort of a bit like soil, but it's a very rich flavor. It's definitely a deep and rich flavor. And I'm absolutely sure that it's the Seville oranges that make all the difference. But anyway, we will be giving the recipe out, I promise you, so that when we do the video and I show you how to make it, you can make it along with me if you'd like to. Okay, Chris, keep going. It is a cooking show, isn't it, today? It's turned out to be a cooking show.
All right, this is from Carrie. Good morning. So glad you're feeling better.
Thank you.
Rosemary, I have 4 family members in less than a year. My sister, my 2 aunts, and my mother. Can you tell me if they have any messages for me?
Well, first of all, let me say that's tough. What a tough year for you, and what a tough year for your family. But I'm listening to Grey Eagle. I don't see your family, but according to Grey Eagle, who has his hand on my shoulder as I'm talking to you, so the message is for you and through them to Grey Eagle. He tells me to tell you that they are fine, and I think that apparently the one question that you've been asking more than any other is, are they together? And the answer is a resounding yes, they are. And speaking of Christmas, they love you very much. Okay, keep going, Chris.
Tracy says, hi, Rosemary. I'm back after having a terrible time this last couple of months. Please, could you tell me if my family and spirit are around me to give me strength at the moment?
Oh, this is interesting, Tracy. I am to tell you, and again from Grey Eagle, I am to tell you that you have really needed your angels to remind you of the strength that you have. They see your tears and they see your heartache. I'm to tell you that they are holding you up, even as you've wanted to sink into nothingness. I just want to reach out and give you a big hug here, because what I'm seeing, what I'm being told is, you know, we all have tough times. We all go through tough times, but some of those tough times are worse than others. And this has been a particularly, I'm told, rough time for you, darling. So visualize my arms around you, giving you healing. And I think that it's very slowly, I think you've been so disappointed and so let down, but you are strong enough and you are capable enough of building back up and becoming even stronger. So just remember that you are well loved. Your family, your friends, your angels. I've rarely actually been able to say to someone in this way that they're angels, that your angels are with you. But Gregor needs you to know that. You need to know that your angels are there with you, that you were not forsaken, although it might feel like you were, but you were not forsaken. And one more thing, you know, people can be insensitive, and in this world of ours, you know, we all of us from time to time suffer rejection, and sometimes that rejection can feel awful. It only makes us stronger. We do not reject you. Your angels do not reject you. They love you, darling. So please, you know that you are well loved. Chris.
Rhonda says, I'm looking forward to our spooky stories.
Let me see. Well, you know, here's the thing. We're going to be doing our Halloween thing. If any of you out there, I mean, we've got locals here in Sarasota and in Venice or wherever close by. I'm opening my house. Anybody wants to come, you can come and join us. That's fine by me, right, Chris? We can just, you know, let's
Yes.
if too many people come, we'll just order pizza and just have a party. But Halloween is that, you know, spooky story time. So if you can't come and join us physically, and I'm inviting anybody who wants to come, and if you want to know where to come and how to, then and it's free. It's free. I'll be here. Come join me. Come sit with me. Come enjoy Halloween with me. I'll be wearing my witch's hat. Anyway, and what am I going to say? If you want to know how to do that, just email Rosemary at rosemaryaltea.com, and we'll let you know where to come. And you don't even have to bring anything. Just bring yourselves. If you want alcohol, you might want to think about bringing that, but not too much. And don't come if you're tipsy, because we won't be doing that. But we're just going to have a fun Halloween. So you're all invited to come to Halloween. Am I going to regret saying that? No, I don't think so. I just enjoy people's company. So come along. We might even put it up on Meetup. Chris, what do you think? A Halloween night and spooky stories?
That could be fun.
Let's do that. Let's do that and see what happens. But if you have a spooky story that you'd like to share, join us on Halloween. I think we're going to be doing it actually on the night, and we'll be doing it late at night. So you can take the kids out, they can go trick or treating, and then when you put them to bed or when you all come back home, you can sit and watch us while we have our Halloween spooky story night and see who comes through from the spirit world, because they always do. There's always somebody popping in, and and see what spooky stories we have. I'm trying to think Oh yes, I know what happened. Yes, I've got a recent spooky story. I'm going to wait and tell it on Halloween. Chris, keep going.
Microphone Mike says,
Hi.
hello, Rosemary.
Hi.
It's great to see you again.
Huh.
Do you see success with me wanting to move to a foreign country to teach English?
Oh, that sounds very interesting. Uh, so here's what Grail is saying: nothing ventured, nothing gained. Um, it depends what people mean by success. I think, will it be a good experience for you? Yes, with a resounding yes. Um, but I think success depends on what kind of success you're looking for and what you consider to be success. But it sounds to me like it might be something you want to follow up on. Chris.
Joy says, hello, Rosemary.
Hi, Joy.
I'm so glad your coughing is much better.
Thank you.
Do you have any messages for little old me?
Little old you. Do you know, I've been using that word joy all week long. So it's lovely that we have a joy with us. Um, are you joyful? Does your name inspire you to be joyful? I was actually talking to Chris the other day, and unfortunately, I was talking about someone that I know very well who is such an unhappy and joyless person. And it's so sad to me because, you know, if we look and if we look hard enough and we search hard enough, we can always find something to be joyful of. Will I be joyful when I take my cake out of the pan if it's burned or if it's not how I imagined it? No, I'm going to make it the best cake. I'm going to find joy in just I've when I told my grandson I'm making a Christmas cake, his face lit up, so beaming from ear to ear. Can we decorate it? Can we do that, Mosey? There's always something to find joy in. And so, do I have a message for you? The message is that you're inspiring me. Your name is inspiring me to think about and to remember all the joyful times that I have in my life, even when I'm struggling to breathe sometimes, even when this ridiculous cough just won't go away sometimes. I can still find joy. So thank you for joining us. I'm asking Grey Eagle. I'm a bit lost with this. Okay, I do have something to say to you. I don't understand it. If you understand it, great. And if you don't, well, I don't know what to tell you. But you need to pay attention to your feet. Of all of the things that I could tell you to do, of all of the messages that we might be giving to people, you need to pay attention to your feet. You need to get some relief and some massage on your feet, little old you. And I hope you understand that message. And I'm going to be sending you some healing. I don't know what's going on with your feet, and maybe nothing's going on with your feet. Maybe you think I'm a weird person for mentioning it. Let me know. Please let me know. But I really feel that, you know, you can find such relief, but you need to pay attention to yourself. You need to give healing to yourself. You need to, you say, little old me, do I have a message for little old me? Yes, I do. Give to yourself before you give to others. Be selfish with yourself, my darling, and give those lovely feet of yours a nice massage. Does that sound weird, Chris? I've never done it. I'm not sure I've ever given
It's
people
more
weird,
intriguing to me because I know everything that you say, something
weird,
comes to fruition about it.
weird to say that. So, Joy, little old you, you've inspired me and reminded me of joy and the joy that we need to find in everything, in every way, in everything that we do. And uh, let us know if you can, if you're as bemused and confused as I am. Okay, Chris.
All right. Wayne is saying good morning. It's nice to see and hear from you.
Wayne, good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you too.
Mary says hello. It's wonderful seeing you. Do you and Gray Eagle feel anything for me? By the way, I thought about you and Gray Eagle yesterday.
Oh, you did? Now, you see, Mary, now you're intriguing me. Uh, I want to know, why did you think, I've got hiccups now. Why did you think about Gregor and I yesterday? Were you cooking too, or were you wishing you were cooking? What's going on? Or did you just need our help and our strength? Because I feel that, you know, that's what we give out. And if that's what you need, my darling, that's what we're sending you. Our love, our energy, and our healing. Chris.
Judith wants to know what might cause sleeplessness 3 nights in a row.
Oh,
She
don't you?
said, I finally took a sleeping aid and it helped a bit. Family that had passed was on my mind so strongly.
Yeah, I think honestly, Judith, I hate those times. If I knew the answer to this question, I'd use it myself. I hate those times when I simply cannot sleep, and no matter what I try to do, and the more I try to sleep, the worse it gets. So usually, excuse me, when that happens for me, which it does, uh, I'll either get my Kindle out. I mean, if I can say that there is one thing in my life that I carry around with me on a physical level, it's my Kindle, because it's always within reach. And I always have to make sure that I always plug it in. I love my Kindle. So if I can't sleep, I'll read. The problem with reading, though, is for me, is that I get so involved, and then before I know it, 3 hours have gone by, and instead of trying to get back to sleep, I'm now wide awake because I'm still reading. I don't know what's going on. Probably it's because Judith, you've got so much on your mind. I will recommend you something that will guarantee to put you to sleep. So we have these great CDs. I think you can now get them online. You can get them wherever. But anyway, you need to listen to my meditation. It's called Give the Gift of Healing. It'll put you out like a light. All you'll need to do is just listen to it, and it'll just take you where you need to be. It will help you to relax. It will give you energy. The energy of this meditation will wrap around you. The love will wrap around you. I made this tape so many years ago for a patient of mine, Wendy, who had cancer, and she was getting very, very close to passing. And I was on a radio show, and she happened to be listening in. She was bedridden by this time. She happened to be listening into the radio. And as soon as she heard my voice, when she woke up, she was not able to get up. She didn't have the strength to get up. She just felt really awful. And apparently when I visited her later on that day, she said, as soon as I heard your voice, it made me feel so much better. And I got up and I got dressed and I had a good day. And that got me thinking, wait a minute, hang on a minute. Maybe if it can do that for Wendy, maybe it can do it for others. So I made a meditation, and it's wonderful. It's a meditation inspired by Grey Eagle. It is a meditation that was all organized and orchestrated by Grey Eagle. He actually stood in front of me as I was making the recording with a little baton and sort of put me through the space and the time, and we, you know, the timing was perfect. Everything about it was perfect, and it's sold forever and ever and ever. Anyway, if you want to know more about it, or you're a person who has sleepless nights, you can use that meditation. I guarantee it will work. However, there are other meditations that are out there, Judith, that you also might want to try. So you know what to do. Email the office, ask where you can get it, or how you can get it, or what you can do to find it, and we'll see if we can help you out. Chris.
All right. Dee is also saying good morning to you. And Annika says, while we live this life, we might as well keep the physical body happy with good recipes and food.
Well, Dee, hi to you, and Annika, thank you for that. Yes, and food is good, right? I mean, in my Christmas cake, the recipe actually, here we go again, food. Oh my goodness, I've got food on my mind here. But in the recipe for this Christmas cake, I actually put in 8 ounces of cherries, not regular cherries. In America, they call them, what do they call them? Holiday cherries, I think. In England, we call them glacé cherries. We're very used to them in England. We use them all the time for fruit cakes or whatever we're making, but we love them. But when you can only get them in America sort of around the Christmas season, but I've ordered mine on Amazon and they came and they're great. But they're covered in like a syrupy, they're sticky and they're covered in a syrup. And what I do is I rinse them off and dry them before I put them in the cake, because I don't want the syrup to, you know, it makes the cherries too heavy and it might make them sink into the cake. And we want to have the cherries all the way through the cake. Anyway, back to talking about food. But what was I saying? So anyway, I always put in extra. I say 8 ounces, but I think I might have put in 6. I might have put in double. I might have put in 6 because I love cherries. I love cherries in cake, so I might have put 12 or I might have put 16 or whatever it is. Anyway, the thing is that as they're drying, there probably weren't that many, because as they were drying, every now and again, I would pop one in my mouth and eat it, because cherries are one of my favorite things. Fresh cherries, all kinds of cherries, maraschino cherries, all kinds of cherries. I love them. So anyway, why are we talking fruit? What's going on? I've lost the plot here. Anyway, yes, we always need something to make us feel good. And if food does it for you, that's great. It certainly does it for me. Chris.
Gary says he wants marmalade in November, please.
Ah. Right then. All right. Well, okay. You've got it. I'm getting through the marmalade that I made. I actually made twice as much as I would normally, and then I gave a lot of it away. I'm giving none of it away this time. Well, maybe Chris, because Chris got the oranges for me, so I'm giving some to Chris. And Gary, I promise you a jar of marmalade. Just as a reminder, Gary is coming in November because Chris has an event planned. I am attending. I'm doing the Friday night. I'm doing a Saturday am I doing just the morning, Chris? I can't remember.
Yeah, 10 a.m. until 1.
So then, and after that, I'm coming back later. There are a couple of other speakers. And after that, I'm coming back to share pizza with everybody and talk about spooky stuff. And that's going on in November, and it's going on in Venice, Florida. And again, all you locals out there, come on, get going here. But we're going to be having such a lot of fun. So even though when you look and see, when I'm going to be there, it's Friday night and Saturday morning, I'm also going to be popping in and out. And of course, I'm also going to be interfering as well, because that's what I like to do. So there'll be messages galore, we hope, and lots of people in the spirit world coming through to talk to us. We're excited about it. It's live, and so if you want to know more about that, just again, email us, Chris at Rosemary Altea, rosemaryatea.com, something like that, and we'll send you all the information. And so yeah, so that's November, Gary. I'll guarantee you some marmalade. No matter how much I give you, you're going to want more. I can absolutely guarantee. Right. See,
All right.
I trust my marmalade. All right. Enough about food. No more talk of food.
All righty. Jenny Dean says, you look ravishing. Could you talk about joy and feelings of gratitude and how this can be positive for our health?
Oh, Jenny Dean, yes. That's so nice of you. Thank you. Right. Okay. Well, as you all know, or most of you know, it has been a rough 2.5, 3 months for me. Not being able to breathe properly, coughing and spluttering, and not being able to catch my breath, and I'm sure many of you know, when you sort of having those coughing spurts, it's very draining. Now, I'm talking to you as if my being sick is the worst thing in the world, which it isn't, of course, because I'm fine, really. My cycle's got to get rid of this dreadful cough, but other than that, I'm good. And there are people out there. My friend Mary Lou is having her, I think it's her 3rd or 4th chemo today. So we're thinking about her. She has cancer, and she's had her surgery, and now she's going through chemo. And there are a lot of people out there in the world who are, many bedridden, many crippled with arthritis, and on we can go with all of the stuff that we have to deal with on a physical level that can really, really bring us down and pull us down. And very often justifiably so. This is where I think, it's so easy for us to become so caught up in the physical aspects and the weaknesses that we go through. I mean, I'm thinking about myself in a way. I'm so fortunate because, I'm sort of getting up there in age. Not that I feel it at all, not even when I'm coughing and spluttering, I have to tell you. And I have a really big giant birthday coming up next year. I know I don't look as if I'm 100 years old, but not really. But I've got a big birthday coming up next year, and people often look at me and say, "Well, that can't be right. You can't be that age." Unfortunately, as with everybody, it creeps up on us. My grandson said to me a few weeks ago when I was coughing so badly, and he got really worried. He said, "Mosey, Are you going to die? And I thought about it for a minute and I said, well, we're all going to die at some point, but I'm hoping I'm not going to die too soon. I've got a while to go yet. Now, there's so much joy, even for those of us who are suffering so greatly on a physical level or on an emotional level, however it is we're suffering. You know, this world of ours is filled with however many trillions of people, and every single one of those people at some point or another will go through difficulties. And I'm sure that as I'm talking to you all, there are many of you who are relating to what I'm saying. How can you stay positive? How can you keep positive? Now, attitude is everything. I've just been talking a little while ago about someone that I know and I know very well, who is actually a part of our family. And if he weren't so difficult to handle, I could feel sorry. I could feel sad for him, not sorry for him. I don't feel sorry for him. I feel sad for him. If he weren't so difficult to handle, I might feel sad for him more often. But when I'm in his presence, which thank goodness isn't often, it's tough. It's tough to stay positive when you have someone who is so negative in life and walking around with a cloud over them, what have you. And unfortunately, that this particular person I'm thinking of has so many reasons to be joyful. So many reasons to be joyful. My grandson is one of those reasons because, as I've said, he's sort of part of the family. But if you choose, and again, we all have choices. If you choose to be blind, if you choose to bury yourself in your own pain, if you choose to allow this black cloud to suffocate you, you will be joyless and you will live your life, unfortunately, in a way that is so drab and dark and grey. So what I'm saying is that it's about choices. And for those of you who are bedridden, for those of you who are in agony, for those of you who are in pain, I get it. I do get it. Fortunately or otherwise, I get it because, you know, there were those years when I was sick and very close to dying and in immense pain, tremendous pain. So luckily, weirdly, I've been through that. I've experienced that. I know what it's like to be on the brink of dying. I know what it's like to be in so much pain that you just sometimes wish that you could just go to get out of the pain. I know all of those things. I know what it's like, and I know what it feels like to be that way. Having said that, because I know, I can honestly say to anyone and everyone out there, no matter what your situation is in life, no matter how much desperation you're in, how much pain you're in, how much heartache you're in, whatever, every single human being on this planet has choices. Now, if we're imprisoned or we're being trapped or whatever, we're trapped in a bed, we don't have the choice necessarily to get up and walk around. We don't necessarily have the choice to find freedom. Where our choices are, let's say, limited. But the most important choice that we have, that we all of us have, is the choice of what's going on in there. People can control your body. People can control you physically. People can, or pain or whatever it is, or the suffering can control you physically. But your mind is your own. And even those people who try to turn your mind or use your mind against you, you have choices to succumb, or you have choices to retain that one part of your mind that you won't give up on and you can't give up on. And that is the choice that we have. So all of us have the choice of how our mind is going to work. What are we going to do with our thoughts? Okay, Judith tells me earlier on she was thinking a lot about her family in the spirit world. Was she thinking negatively or was she thinking positively? I'm not pointing Judith out particularly. I'm saying we have choices of how we think. We have choices of where our mind is going to go. We have a choice of, okay, it's so easy to go on the dark side. It's so easy to go on the negative. It's so easy to let our mind wander and think, oh, nothing's ever going to be right. And so what we have to do is we have to find, and every one of us, no matter what your situation, and especially I'm thinking of those who have lost their children, because believe you me, that has to be in my mind and my thoughts, that has to be the worst thing that could possibly happen to anyone. But no matter what is going on with you, if you can, using your mind and remembering that you have a choice, if you can find one small thing, it can be the tiniest thing, but if you can find that one small thing in your mind, your choice to do this, choose to find that one small thing in your life that makes you smile. That one small thing that makes life more bearable. For me, if I'm having a tough day, that one small thing is my grandson's face. That one small thing is my daughter, who, she's such an amazing mother. I have so many small things in my life. I'm fortunate. But it's because I choose to find those things. I choose to focus my mind on the positives. And those positives can be, I got up this morning and I'd forgotten about the Christmas cake. And so when I came into the kitchen, and there it was, it's all wrapped up still, it's cooked, and now it's completely cooled off. And I opened it up and put my nose in it. Oh, the smell. One tiny, tiny, small positive thing. So we have to understand, every one of us. The person I talked about who is joyless because he chooses to be. If you are joyless, you are living without joy. It doesn't matter to me how much pain you're in. I've been there. I've been to that place where I have wished to be taken because the pain is so excruciating. I'm talking about my kidney issues, and there's even, I think the pain is even more excruciating than childbirth. And believe you me, my childbirthing days were painful, really painful. But if you can just lift your mind, understand it's your choice. Where are you going with your mind? It's your choice. You find that small glimmer of hope, that small glimmer that makes you smile, that small moment of joy, and that will grow. And the more that you do it and the more you choose to do it, the more you can understand, you can lift yourself. It's called raising your level of consciousness. You can lift yourself out of the pains and out of the heartaches and out of the dark, and you can choose, if you choose, it's your choice, if you choose to lift yourself out of that dark place and look, just really look really, really hard, because there isn't one person on this planet who doesn't have a glimmer, a tiny, tiny little glimmer, sliver of something that makes them smile. Even if it's, that glass of water that you are so thirsty for, or that small smile you see on a child's face, and on we can go with all of the joyful things that we have in life. And some of them can be, eating a cherry. My gosh, I put that cherry in my mouth. It was so delicious. And I choose to focus on these things. So we choose to be joyful. We choose to find the joy, no matter how dark and dim and dank and desperate our lives seem to be. If we can just find that one glimmer of joy. God put us on this earth. Trials, tribulations, we go through them. It's a learning process. But he gave us tools. And our mind and our thoughts are the most powerful possession we have. Guide your thoughts positively or guide them negatively, your choice. If you guide them negatively, the power of thought is so powerful it will take you down. If you choose to use your thoughts positively, the power of positive thinking will bring you up and it will lift you up, regardless of the pain, regardless of the fact that my poor little hand could not stir that cake. But I made a wish anyway, and I stirred it anyway, and it's hurting crazily today, but that's okay, because I chose to use my mind in a positive way and to not allow the heartaches and the problems and the issues to cloud the fact that I have a choice to be joyful. Even if it's only in sparse moments in the day, I have a choice to be joyful, and boy, am I going to take it. Chris.
So you're right at time and you have a lot of questions left.
Well,
what would you like to do?
I'd like to carry on. I really want to know what people think about what I've said, because what I've just said is so important for all of us, and and especially with the world as it is and the chaos and go on and on. But the world has always been chaotic. Trust me. The world has always been, there are always problems in the world. But let's just have a few questions or a few comments. Let's see what people think about what we've just been talking about.
All right. So for what you've just been talking about, Launicus says, Rosemary, you speak so intense from your heart. I feel it. The thing about choices you make, love it.
Good. I'm glad.
Magdalena says, thank you, dear Rosemary, for this precious reminder. Judith, sorry.
Sorry, 1 second. I do want to know, did we hear from the lady with the feet? I'm just wondering. So anyway, Karen, Judith, okay?
Judith says, it's wonderful for you to share and teach this understanding, this lesson. This requires much thought and mulling, uplifting and thoughtful place in mind to dwell for a while. Thank you,
Good.
Rosemary.
Good.
I'm right now scrolling to see if I see anything about the feet. Yes, from Joy. I have been told that my mom gave me the right name because I'm always laughing and smiling. Thank you for the message, too. My feet have been a bit swollen on and off, and I will definitely keep an eye on it.
Good. And I'm so happy that your mother, I'm sure when she gave you that name, it was because of her joy in receiving such a precious bundle. Keep going, Chris.
All right, Rhonda has a question. Rosemary, my dad passed 5 years ago of prostate cancer, and now my husband has the same cancer. He is already in your healing book. Something extraordinary happened last night, though.
Go
I
ahead.
opened two different prayer books, and my dad's picture was in both books. Does my dad have anything for me about how to walk with my husband through this journey?
Wow, it came straight back with joy. Now that sounds odd, right? It sounds odd. You can give your husband the best of yourself, choosing to find joy, helping him through this, holding his hand. You can choose to go down that awful negative stuff. And of course, I get it, I understand why, but joy is so important in these situations. You know, when we lose someone, and I think your husband has got a way to go yet. But just when you do lose someone, we do forget. I was reminded of this the other day because I think I just started off the show by saying I've had some amazing messages this week. But anyway, um, we forget that for us, of course, the loss is great and we grieve and it causes us so much pain. But we actually forget that for those who have passed, it's such a joyful time, such an amazing time. It's an incredible continuing of life and continuing and being with your loved ones you never thought you'd see again, and having the experience of angels around you as they carry you towards your family, your loved ones who are already in the spirit world. We forget, while we're grieving, they're probably partying. And it's not fair. We don't like it. And we still have to go through the grieving process. But this is Grey Eagle is telling me that this message is from your dad, and he's trying to show you, obviously, with the photos, he's trying to send this message to you. I'm with you, he says, I'm with you. I'll be by your side, but walk with joy. Joy and heartache can go side by side. They really can. Let the joy shine through. You have a fabulous partner in life. Yes, it can be difficult sometimes, can't we all? But use this time to remind yourself of the precious gift you've had being with him, and remind him of the precious gift that he is to you. Walk with joy. Chris.
Betta says, "Hi, dear. It's so nice to see you looking so good. Pray
Good.
for me and my children. Stronger than the pain and hopeful for a better future. Hugs from Betta from Italy."
I know better. And I think about you better often. So definitely praying for you. Okay, Chris.
Oh, let's see. Um, Beside the prayer books, I also pulled out your book, The Gift of Healing. It's so warm. I had to order another one. That was continuation from Rhonda.
Yeah. Well, Rhonda, we're with you, darling.
Another Mike says, I was told by Kevin Ryerson that was a famous poet and prominent feminist in a past life. However, in this lifetime, I am struggling with depression. Can you channel my guides and see how I can heal?
Well, if only, but no, I wouldn't. I know I won't. I would not channel your guys. That's not what I do. Um, but I'm hoping that you wrote that before I started to talk to you about choices and about finding joy. Um, we are going to put you in our healing book and we're going to send you healing, but you've got to do the work here, my darling. We'll help you, but you have to do the work. Find the joy. Okay, no, maybe another one, Chris, and then we'll close. I think
Okay.
I've got to do my Christmas cake.
Leslie says, my neighbor Audrey has been so physically and emotionally sick because her renter is not paying rent and destroying the place. Do you see the renter gone soon? I feel so bad for her.
Okay, I would like you, if you can, to just send us a little email, or Chris, if you could, you don't even need to do that. Just make a little note. So your friend's name is Audrey, is that right? And she's in a situation she needs to get out of. I'm going to put it out there. I want you to put it out there as well. Sometimes situations in our lives are too big for us to handle. And this is when we have to hand over to God. This is what trust is about. You hand it over to God. The only problem once you hand it over, all you have to do is say to God, to the universe, you put it out there. This situation is too big for us to handle. Please, can you handle it for us in the best way, in the right way, that is right for everyone? Can I hand this over to you? Once you hand it over, then back off. You can't interfere. You have to just trust, and you'll find that things will resolve themselves. But I'm going to ask Great Eagle, and even as I'm talking to, I'm going to ask Great Eagle, is there anything we can do about this for your friend? Because if this is as bad as you say it is, this is a horrible situation. So we're going to hand it over, and hopefully give it a little bit of time. It's going to be resolved. I'm told yes. All right, that's it. Now, that's it, I think, for today. So first of all, I'd like to say thank you to Greg Eagle for being here with us today. I'd like to remind you we have not forgotten the Greg Eagle and Rosemary Speaks thing, and we will be letting you know as soon as we can figure something out. I'd like to remind you also what is the date of the event, Chris, that you're holding?
It is November 14th through the 16th in Venice, Florida. And tomorrow you've got Cracking Up.
I'll be live at that event and popping in and out and bringing pizza and probably Saturday night with everybody. I think that will be fun. Yes, and tomorrow night we have my friend Kay and I doing Cracking Up at whatever time it is.
5 p.m.
5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's if you're in New York, or on the East Coast of America, that's 5 p.m. So that would be 10 p.m. English time, and I'm afraid the rest of you are going to have to work it out. But we will be there cracking up with my friend Kay, and we'll have some stories for you, and you'll be able to. Kay is one of my oldest students and my closest friend, and so you'll be able to ask any questions you like and join in with us. In England, if you're cracking up, it means you're laughing a lot. Just saying, we're hoping to be cracking up tomorrow night. So join us then. Until then, We shall be back here again next Thursday. Hopefully, until then, please, everybody, thank you for joining us. Have a very, very blessed rest of the day. Joyful and blessed rest of the day, please. Now, have a very joyful and blessed rest of the weekend, everybody. Bye-bye, everybody.